Pavo the peacock strutted through the emerald glade with his chest puffed out, his magnificent tail trailing behind him like a royal robe stitched from jewels. Every morning he stood by the shimmering forest pool, not to drink but to worship his own reflection, convinced that the world existed merely as a stage for his splendor. When the crow landed nearby to rest, Pavo would let out a sharp, mocking laugh, telling the dark bird that his feathers looked like soot and he should hide himself in the shadows to avoid offending the sun. He was equally cruel to the pigeons, sneering at their dusty grey coats and calling them drab little stones that were unworthy of sharing the same grass as a king like himself. The only creature Pavo deigned to speak with was the White Swan, for he believed her snowy elegance was the only thing that didn't diminish his own glory. He ignored the greetings of his neighbors and turned his back on any bird in need, believing that his external beauty exempted him from the burdens of friendship or compassion. One afternoon, while Pavo was busy insulting the pigeons' humble cooing, the sky suddenly bruised into a dark, angry purple. A violent mountain storm broke without warning, unleashing a torrential downpour and howling winds that whipped through the trees. Pavo, terrified that the mud would ruin his iridescent train, tried to take flight, but his enormous water-soaked feathers became a heavy anchor. He slipped and fell into a deep, thorny thicket at the edge of a rising stream. The more he struggled, the more the sharp briars tangled into his delicate plumage, pinning him down as the cold water began to rise around his neck. He screamed for help, his voice cracking with desperation. But his elite friend the swan was forced to retreat to the center of the lake to avoid being dashed against the rocks by the waves. Just as Pavo felt his strength failing, a streak of black feathers dived through the lashing rain. It was the crow, who used his strong, sharp beak to relentlessly hack away at the thick thorns. Following close behind were the pigeons, who used their bodies to shield Pavo's head from falling debris and worked together to heave his sodden weight out of the muddy trench. They didn't hesitate or remind him of his past insults. They simply worked until the arrogant peacock was dragged to the safety of a dry, hollow log. As the clouds parted and the sun began to dry the sodden earth, Pavo looked at his reflection in a puddle. His feathers were broken, matted with clay,